Assalamualaikum dear students. Students, as we are doing with lesson number 8, that is your unit 8, that is D and F block element. Yesterday we have covered many of the topics. Today we are going to start with the physical properties. So dear students, in the physical properties, when we talk about general properties of the transition elements, that is your D block element, nearly all the transition elements display typical metallic properties such as high tensile strength, ductility, malleability, thermal stability, or you can say high thermal electrical conductivity, and the metallic luster. So dear students, in general we can say that the D block elements are metals and they are possessing the metallic properties. So all those properties are listed over here, which we know since class 8. So as they are metal, this all properties are belonging to those. With the exception of zinc, cadmium, mercury and manganese, they have one or more typical metallic structures at their normal temperature. This means that they are available in the different structures over there. They are available in different forms over there when we talk about their existence. So dear students, lattice structure of transition metals. Now dear students, यहाँ पर आपको जो HCC, BCC दिख रहा है, that is from your chapter number 1. As we talked about that when you talk about BCC, body centered cubic, body centered pack. Okay, HCP, hexagonal closed packing. You can have this kind of these structures which are there in your chapter number 1. So you have to go throughout it. क्या स्कैंडियम है तो स्कैंडियम HCP भी पॉसिबल है, BCC भी पॉसिबल है, टिटेनियम HCP भी पॉसिबल है, BCC भी पॉसिबल है, वैनेडियम BCC, body center. Okay, so these are the lattice structures of the different compound formation. In chapter number 1 we have seen that what kind of the various 14 Brevis lattice systems are there. So you can relate it over here just to understand their structures. Here see it is given in the complete form, that is BCC, body centered cubic, HCP, hexagonal closed pack, CCP, closed cubic pack. X a typical metal structure. So X is a typical metallic structures which are given over here, so which you can relate it. Okay, when you talk about the melting point, dear students, there are certain exceptions over here in the melting point when we are talking about the transition metals, with the exception of the three which we have talked right now, are very hard and have the low volatility. Volatility means from the solid, or you can say from the liquid going to the vapor phase. So that is very low. The tendency is very less about this, but the melting points are very high. Their melting points and boiling points are high. For example, you are able to see in the figure 8.1. Depicts the melting point of the transition metals belonging to 3D, 4D and 5D series. The high melting point of these metals are attributed to the involvement of the greater number of the electrons from n-1d in addition to the ns electrons in the interatomic metallic bonding. So dear students, when we talk about their metallic bonding, see, one particular is bonded with the another particle through the metallic bond. Why? We are talking about the metal lattices. When we talk about metal lattices, you will be having all the particles of the metals only. Means metal atoms are present over there and they are binded with the metallic bond. So we say that here we are having the n-1d electrons are also there and we are having ns electrons are also there. So they are binded together by this. Okay, we have also seen that somewhere these are changing. You know, we have seen with the their electrons which are distributed over there, there are some variations over here in the melting point. When you see the atomic number, the trend is going like this. But when you talk about the melting point, there are fluctuations. So fluctuations are because of the electronic arrangement. When we talk about the electronic arrangement, you are able to see somewhere we have the different kind of the arrangement for n-1d and ns electrons. So because of this, there are the variations over here in the melting point, and that is certainly because of the electron-electron bonding in the particular metals. Let us see further. Favorable for the strong interatomic interaction. कहीं-कहीं पर आपका जो मेटल है उसके इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऐसा है कि इलेक्ट्रॉन का अट्रैक्शन बहुत ज्यादा है, तो ऐसे केस में उसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट बहुत ही हाई हो जाएगा. Are you getting? And when there is a less interaction of the metal atoms and electrons, that will be the low melting point. In general, greater the number of valence electrons, stronger is the resultant bonding. Very clear statement कि जितना वहाँ पे आपका वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, जितना ग्रेटर है, उतना ज्यादा बॉन्डिंग रहेगा. Since the enthalpy of atomization is an important factor in determining the standard electron potential of the metals, metals with a very high enthalpy of atomization, that is very high boiling point, leads to the noble in their reaction. So what happens over here, that whatever the metals over there are, when they are very less reactive, they are considered to be the noble because they are not going to give the reaction with many of the materials over there. And how do we come to know about their reactivity? Generally we compare them with the standard electron potential. हम standard electron potential से उसको compare करके ये पता लगाते हैं कि हमारा जो metal है वो किस टाइप की reactivity देता है. Is it clear? So when we say that when those are with a very high boiling point, they are generally not giving the most of the reactions. Another generalization that may be drawn from the figure 8.2 is that the metal of the second and the third series have the greater enthalpies of the atomization than the corresponding element of the first series. This is an important factor in accounting for the occurrence of the much more frequent metal-metal bonding in the compounds of the heavy transition metals. So see what this particular is saying. It is saying that in the second and third series there is a greater enthalpies of atomization. Second and third series में atomization enthalpies are very more compared to your second series. Okay. So यहाँ पे first series. So it is important because of the metal-metal bonding. So you are able to see such a kind of the trends given in their various properties. Let us see further. If we talk about variation in the atomic and ionic sizes of the transition metals. Now dear students, as we all know that when you talk about the atomic size or when you talk about the ionic size, what generally happens when we move from left to right in the period, the atomic size goes on decreasing. Okay, electrons goes on increasing and atomic size goes on decreasing. So in general, the ions of the same charge in a given series shows a progressive decrease in the radius with increasing atomic number, as I told you. This is because the new electron enters the d orbital each time the nuclear charge increases by the unity. Unity means 1. हर एक स्टेप पे आपका एक इलेक्ट्रॉन बढ़ता जा रहा है. जितना बढ़ता जाएगा उतना अट्रैक्शन बढ़ेगा, जितना अट्रैक्शन बढ़ेगा उतना वो कॉम्पैक्ट होता जाएगा. ठीक है. So because of this the size will goes on decreasing. Okay. It may be recalled that the shedding effect of the d electron is not that effective, hence the net electrostatic attraction between the nucleus and the outermost electron increases and the ionic radius decreases. Okay, ionic radius आपका जो होता है वो decrease होता जाएगी because of the shedding effect. Okay, shedding effect means it's trying to move away. So it is not more possible over there and poor shedding effect is there. That is why they are more coming closer to the nucleus and because of this the radius goes on decreasing. The same trend is observed in the atomic radii of the given series. However, the variation within the series is quite small. showing the change over there. There is only little change over there when you talk about the corresponding atomic size. Okay, this phenomenon is associated with the intervention of the 4f orbital, which must be filled before the 5d orbitals of the element begins. The filling of the 4f and 5d orbital resulting in the regular decrease in the atomic radii called the lanthanoid contraction, which is essentially compared to be expected. Now dear students, this is something very important to understand. What is lanthanoid contraction? So lanthanoid contraction is because of the two particular factors. You have to remember, they may be asking you in the board exam that what is lanthanoid contraction, or they may give you any particular reasons depending on this lanthanoid contraction. Your answer should be combined with the two keywords over here. First one is effective nuclear charge. Your nucleus is holding all the orbitals surrounding it with a very high force. This is giving the scope to that the size of the particle, size of the atom is going on decreasing. Okay, so first factor, that is a nuclear charge. Second, poor shielding effect. You know, shielding, as I just now only told you, it is trying to spread away. Okay, so poor, it means it is not able to get a little bit far away from the nucleus. So first of all, a very strong electrostatic force, and that is why the nuclear charge increases. So because of this, the size goes on decreasing. Second thing, poor shielding effect. So this is also supporting in the contraction over here, and that is why we call it as a lanthanoid contraction. So whenever the lanthanoid contraction has been asked, you have to give these two keywords. See, whenever they are going to check your papers, as and when you are able to give these two keywords, try to underline it. When you make it underline, you are highlighting this. So examiner is not going to read more away from this. The examiner requires these keywords. As soon as he or she is getting these keywords, they will directly give you the marks. Are you getting? So try to learn how to write the answers. What are your keywords over here which is required for your answers. Now see, here it is also given that increase in the atomic size with increasing the atomic number. That is to be understood, that's natural. The net resultant of the lanthanoid contraction is that the second and the third series exhibit similar radii. मतलब आप जब कंपेयर कर रहे हो एक को दूसरे के साथ, तो ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं आ रहा है. क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Because of the lanthanoid contraction. Okay, and have a very similar physical and chemical properties, much more than that expected on the basis of useful family relationship. You know, generally we say that when we are moving left to right, or whenever we are moving from top to bottom, the properties, certain properties are changing. Okay, so here the properties are not changing so much. Reason behind it, almost the size are going to be similar, and when the sizes are going to be similar, the properties are also going to relate with each other. The factor responsible for the lanthanoid contraction is somewhat similar to that observed in the ordinary transition series, and attribution to the similar cause. That is imperfect shielding of one electron by another in the same set of the orbital. As just now only I told you that there is a poor shielding effect. So here it is said that shielding effect is not very proper. However, the shielding of the 1,4f electron by another is less than that of the 1d electron by another. As a nuclear charge increases along the series, there is fairly regular decrease in the size of the entire 4f orbital. So dear student, when you are comparing your f orbitals and d orbitals over here, we first of all fill the electrons in the d, and then we go for the f. But as we say that energy levels between these two is not so high. So what happens? There is a great nuclear charge on them, and because of this they goes on decreasing. They goes means they are trying to come more near to the nucleus. जितना nucleus के नजदीक आएगा उतना contraction हुआ. We could say like this. The decrease in the metallic radii coupled with the increase in the atomic mass resulting in general increase in the density of this element. Thus from titanium, that is Z is equal to 22, to copper Z is equal to 29, the significant increase in the density may be noted. Common sense की बात है dear students, जितने particles नजदीक आते जाएंगे पर्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम में उतनी उसकी डेंसिटी बढ़ती जाएगी. यू नो व्हाट इज डेंसिटी? डेंसिटी इज इक्वल टू मास अपॉन वॉल्यूम. सो व्हेन द पार्टिकल्स आर कमिंग क्लोजर एंड क्लोजर, गेटिंग, एंड वॉल्यूम इज सेम and the particles are more, so we say that the density goes on increasing. So here we are able to see that from titanium, wherein your Z is 22, आपका atomic number क्या है? 22, and when it goes on increasing till the copper, what will happen? The density will goes on increasing. Fine. Next. Now dear student, there is one table given in your textbook. So what you need to do, you have to go throughout this table. It is starting from your element 21 till 30, and I hope you remember now how to remember the elements in the sequence. I gave you one phrase. आपको एक phrase सिखाया गया था जिसके depending आपको 21 से लेकर 30 elements learn हो जाते हैं. What is that particular? Sakti Vikram Fikoni cousin. If you remember, Sakti Vikram Fikoni cousin. So you are able to remember scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, Fe that is iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. The table is giving you the atomic number along with that electronic configuration, atomization enthalpy, ionization enthalpy, metallic and the ionic valencies over here. Radii is given, standard electrode potential. Now dear students, standard electrode potential is very important in order to understand the reactivity of your metal. आपका metal कितना reactive है वो कहाँ से पता चलेगा? Standard electrode potential से पता चलेगा. Is it clear? Also the density is given over here, so which you can prefer. Just go through this table, and still if you find out any doubt in this table, just let me know. I'll clarify that. And from the further topic we will start in our next video. Till here, if you face any difficulty, any doubt, just let me know and we will just solve it as